guys, it's Tyler with Hunting and Horses. Definitely need a little more rasp in her. The flies were kind enough to shit all over my Primo's cow call. Have to wash that up. It is today, the 12th. It's Friday, September. Got the camper all packed up. It's 7:30, running a little behind. We're just leaving home. It's about a 4-hour drive to where I'm going. Well, 4.5 hour. Yeah. 3-hour, 40-minute drive on pavement, and then about another hour drive on gravel. So, well, a little update. Made it to the first town and realized I didn't put my license plate on the camper. So we are now almost back to my house to put my license plate on, and then we'll turn around and try again. Headed down the road again. It's 7:56 now. My goal was to be on the highway with fuel and everything by 8. So we're really not doing too bad. Just sucks I had to drive all the way back. Woo! We are 30 minutes from my camping site. Hopefully no one's at that spot. If they are, we'll just find another one. But 30 minutes from the general area. We are on gravel. We have a full tank of diesel. We got jugs of gas for the generator. 2 extra cans of propane. Got my bow right there. I am pumped. Hopefully the elk are doing what the elk do. I don't have an antelope tag, but my brother-in-law does, and we have seen some dandies just on the way in here since the highway, or since the last town we filled up at. So yeah, it's looking good. Stay tuned, I'm almost there. All right, we made her. Shot the bows out to 40. We're both good. Camper is perfectly level. Found a pretty cool spot. Not the spot we stayed in previously or our second choice, but it works pretty good. It's actually closer to where we wanted to be. This is the setup. Running the fridge off the propane. Got all the beverages you could ever need. Starting to wonder if we brought enough food. Got a freezer full of food though. Ish. Already almost went through the pizza. Got some freeze dried. Hey, that made the trip. Yeah, Derek's section. I even said your name. Got the new tripod. It's 81 degrees out. Got the closet set up. Binos, bags, tripods, bows, releases. Yep, we're all set up. Well, update, it's afternoon 1. We got the camper parked, set up camp. Came out to our glass and knob that was insane money last year. And we've seen one cow super far away. There's a hunter on a 4-wheeler that came in right in front of us. And the herd is either tucked in the trees on the bottom or they're not there. We're hearing a couple bugles, but it very well could be hunters. Some of them sounded pretty good. Some of them didn't sound so great. Keep you updated, I guess. Not losing hope yet. Right at dark, found some elk. Couldn't make a move on any of them tonight. Hiked back. We kind of got a game plan for tomorrow. Now we're boiling some water. Gonna eat some chili mac with beef out of this ancient Mountain House can. Got some water boiling there. What's going on, guys? It's day 2. We got in here way before the sunrise. The sun's up now. There's hundreds of elk bugling on the private. Our plan was to go to this glassing knob above where the elk come across and wait there. But I'm not very good at waiting. So Derek stayed there. I'm hiking up and over the ridge across the basin. And I'm gonna try and call one out of the private up here. And if they sneak by me, then they can go to Derek, or if it's one I don't really want. And I preferably like to have Derek shoot first, but we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned. This is what I have to hike out of. Day 2 update. Got in here early this morning, like my video said a little bit ago, and found elk. They all went and bedded down by the time I got up here, though, even though we came in here in the dark. I've been watching 4 whitetail bucks, and now I'm just hanging out, waiting for the elk to get back up. I could go back to camp, but it's like way over there to the pickup. Oh, can't see my finger right there. And then camp's like over that way, so I got snacks and water. I'm just gonna see how long I can tough it out here. See if anything moves midday. Not a whole lot going on. Found another nice bull. He's looks like a heavy 6. Not real tall, but wide-ish. I saw the 7x7 this morning for a split second as he went into the trees. And I've called and raked and stuff, and I can get them to call back and get their attention and bugle back, but I can't get any of them to come up here yet, so that's where we're at. This is crazy. I came up here to find my arrow from last year. I freaking found it. Kill elk. Yes. Oh, that makes my trip right there. He was right there when I shot him. Recap of night 2, day 2. Day 2 saw a nice bull this morning. Cows, calves, or not calves, but spikes. This afternoon we split up and it was really slow. Started raining, thundering. I'm soaked to the bone. Started called in a couple spikes. The one spike went towards Derek. The other spike came directly up to me. I scrambled and ran to where I thought he was going to go, and he actually came up the draw that I was in, exactly to where I was calling from. And so I turned around and boom, there he was. And he actually ran towards me, but just didn't take the shot. Waiting to hear back from Derek. I don't know. It's dark. See what he's doing.
Strapped on my boots, hit the dusty road with a heart full of fire and a heavy load.
Morning of the 4th day update. Morning couldn't have been much more epic unless I got the bull that I wanted. I'm sure, depending on how I edit this, you've probably already seen the clip of the big 7x7. And well, I had him at 45 yards and didn't get the job done. I dropped my pack and my bag, well, my pack and my spotting scope and my water and everything except for my bow and my bugle, because these elk were coming at me and they were coming at me quick. So I ran down the hill because they disappeared and I wanted to make sure they were coming to me so I could position differently if they weren't. And They were coming to me, so I ran back up the hill, got into my spot that I had pre-planned to be there because the trail that comes up out of the bottom comes right by me. And the plan was to let them walk by me and then shoot them at like 15 yards because I was like tucked in a perfect hole. What wasn't perfect was the wind. That's why I had originally ran down the hill too, but I just didn't feel confident that they were going to get by me. If I would have went where I thought I should have gone, definitely, you know, if things played out the same way, I would have got them. Would have got them in a couple different circumstances. I would have got them. Well, it all depends on what they would have done because they did what they did because of where I was. But they literally came up next to my backpack. Like I think one of the spikes smelled my backpack. But there was, I've put the clip in here, I'm sure by now. There was 2 bulls. One was the big bull. One was a nice bull. And then I don't know where the other bull came from, but he was like a heavy 6, not tall, just kind of like splayed out. I don't know if I got a video of him or not, but I had like a little ridge to my back and I was tucked in some sagebrush and the elk were coming up behind me and I thought they'd come behind me and then out alongside me. And when they got behind me, they could smell me. So then they kind of spooked and ran down to my right. And I peeked up over my little berm I had and like through the sagebrush. And I couldn't get a range because my rangefinder kept hitting grass. So I was getting like 5 yards, 6 yards, 2 yards. And I was like, man, I think they're 40. I had an arrow in my bow already. They were looking around, but not directly at me. They didn't know what was going on. I think I could have poked over and shot him if I would have put my bow on 45 like I had guessed, but I didn't want to guess. I wanted it to be perfect. I mean, that was a bull of a lifetime. No doubt. I mean, I was talking just yesterday on like, how does a guy ever get a bull like that? And I had a chance. And I messed it up. But, so I've been chasing them all morning. And I think just a little bit ago, I bumped them for the last time. I bumped them and I don't know where they went. It doesn't make sense. It's like they couldn't have gone anywhere, but they went somewhere, obviously. I don't know. Somebody's coming down this road on a 4-wheeler now. I'm waiting for my ride because I got so far away from everything that my hunting partner just picked up my backpack. I was gonna hike back to the pickup and then meet me at this road. Can't show you the road. Yeah, I don't know. That super awesome, super amazing, but so defeating at the same time. That's bow hunting for you though. If it was easy, they'd call it bow killing, right? Bow, they just call it killing. But I'm hunting. I don't know. I'm sure I'll have another chance, but and I could have shot either the 6 spies or a spike or a cow, but I wanted that big bull and he just never came clear and I didn't have a solid range on him. Oh, I'm kicking myself. Little turn of events here. We came out to find that spike for Derek and we ended up finding a 5x5 actually. So now I'm spotting for him, just sitting up on the ridge, watching the bull, give Derek some hand signals if needed. If he even looks up here, but mostly watching the bull. If something happens, see where he goes. It's super hot out right now. The bull's bedded in like the bottom of a draw. Like the draw is this way And there's a draw coming this way, and he's up in that. So yeah, I'm just watching him now. I'll flip it around and give you a little update. Derek is getting really close, and I didn't even know it. He's on the side hill away. Oh shit. Well, that bull smelled Derek and busted out of there. It's still on the same hillside, but above him in some thick trees. I haven't heard from Derek, so I don't know if he's going after him or coming back out. I did a little walk around while I was waiting. Now I don't see anything over here, but I couldn't find Derek in the spotter or my binoculars after the bull busted out, so I don't know what he's doing. Derek just smacked a giant. He didn't give me time on the rig. Can you see him? Oh, he's right there. He's standing. There's still about a foot left out from the knock sticking out of him. Did it look like it went in good? Yeah. He's bleeding good. I got him kind of midsection. Well, tell him what happened. Start from the beginning.
Oh boy.
Start from this morning, actually.
Well, Tyler was up on the hill, up on a glassing point, and I was way down by the river bottom as we were kind of doing that same thing for the past 3 days. 4 days, 3. Somewhere in there.
4 if you count the first afternoon.
Yeah, but I wasn't having any luck down on the bottom, and we've been seeing a lot more elk coming up from the bottom and coming over the ridge where Tyler has been spotting. And well, this morning there was a group of maybe 15 cows, and in the same group there was 2 like 6x6s and 1 really nice 7x7, bunch of spikes. And me and Tyler both seen them at the exact same time, but we were in 2 different spots. And so they came out of the river bottom, and they were coming right up the property line. And I was slowly trailing behind them. Tyler was right in front of them. It was kind of funny. We were just like both meeting in the middle. But yeah, Tyler you had an opportunity at what, 40, 30?
Yeah, between 30 and 40, depends on which elk I was looking at.
30, 40 yards.
But I was waiting on the 7x7 and he never came.
Yeah, he was way in the back. Tyler was at what he said, how many yards, and then I was at 92, just downwind of him, and I could see the big one is the very last one. But then the lead cow or spike or whatever got wind of Tyler up there. The wind was kind of a bad thing today.
Yeah.
And so they all scurried off once they got wind of Tyler, and they kind of went further back into the BLM where it's pretty thick back there, hard to find stuff. And Tyler went out chasing after him, ended up seeing a spike bedded along the way, kind of still went chasing after the herd. By that time we were texting each other, and Tyler said there's a spike bedded down if you want to shoot that. I said sure, I'll run back to the camper, or drive back around, because you had to drive. It was a pretty far hike. Anyways, it worked out better to drive all the way around so we didn't have to hike back so far. And Tyler brought me to this one little knob on the hill where he last seen the spike. And we did not see the spike, but we seen a raghorn, a really nice 5x5. Oh, debated on who wanted to shoot that.
Wasn't much debate.
Yeah, anyway, so I went down there, kind of had a game plan. Well, I did have a game plan. Went all the way back around, back to the road, down this long, sweeping hill that went pretty damn close to where the elk was bedded down in a real tight coulee. And got to within probably 100 yards.
Yeah.
Took my bag off, took my shoes off, and I just creeped like a cat. Went really smoothly. Stalked, got probably within, I have no idea where he was because I didn't see him, but I'm guessing he was around 40 yards, but there was a hill in between me and him. And he didn't hear me, but he smelled me. Tyler has a video of him just getting up and putting his head down and going further up this ravine. And at that point, I didn't quite know he left because he was dead silent.
Okay.
All right. So I was heading up the hill where that rag went up the hill, and we knew there could have been a spike up there. And as I was further up the hill, 3 spikes came out, jumping out, came crashing out. 2 went to the right, and then 1 went through the ravine and on the other opposite side of the hillside. I ranged him at 72 yards and didn't want to shoot him. That's too far for me. Didn't shoot my bow long enough this year.
Shot. It worked out though.
I guess, yeah. Anyways, that bull was still up there, and I was throwing rocks in there trying to see if anything was in there. Nothing moved, so I made it all the way back down the hill to my shoes, my backpack, without any cactus in my feet. And went back to the pickup, came back to the camper, had some brunch, took a nap. Day 3 of taking a nap. A lot of naps this month. So the evening hunt, we went out to Tyler, and you can pretty much watch elk all evening from there. Could be on private, could be on BLM, but you could watch it all day. Then Tyler's looking out towards the river bottom, and then I decided to go behind us and look behind us into the BLM kind of badlands, and I knew that rag was still back there, and was sitting back there for probably 30-40 minutes. And right as the sun was coming down, it was right at the horizon line, the sun was, and sure enough the spike comes out, and watching him. And at the same time you were up on your point there, and you said you were calling a cow and a spike up the hill, and at the same time this other spike on the backside of the hill is coming up the same point. So we had a cow and a spike coming up and a spike making its way up. And then maybe 3 to 5 minutes later, the rag popped out, the 5x5, right where the spike came out. This was all probably 800 yards away. And then a couple minutes later, a really nice 6x6 came out. And we don't know if that's the one we were chasing this morning, or Tyler was chasing this morning, or not. But we just knew it was a shooter. And let's see, that spike was coming up the hill, and we had to time it right.
Yeah.
Because
This is where things got interesting.
He had full view of us, and we were kind of on an open hill knob with some sagebrush on it. There's one spot where you would probably have a 20 seconds of running over so he doesn't see you. So we waited for him to get hidden behind that little spot in the low spot there. and we haul ass over the hill. And I should have said that Reg and then the 6x6 were going the opposite direction, very, very slowly,
Up
just
a
walking.
super steep draw.
Yeah, really, really steep draw. And we knew that they were heading that direction, and there's only one kind of break in the hilltops that they can cross over. It's really where we were sitting, where there's a break where they could cross over, and then there's another one closer to the pickup, I guess. So we knew where they were heading that direction, so we hauled ass over there, freaking out of breath.
Probably half a mile. We like
speed walked.
Derek speed walked. I literally ran trying to keep up with it.
Yeah. And we knew they were coming to this one bare opening. And didn't quite know where to set up at. And 'cause there wasn't really good trees around there.
No, it's like a sandy saddle.
Yeah.
Super steep.
And so there was one small ponderosa up on the side of the sandy hillside. And so I climb up that. It's pretty straight up. And that was about 30-40 yards if they come through there. So I got up there and I instantly see that Reg. He's kind of further back. And I wasn't even ready, really. I was out of breath. Didn't have an arrow knocked or anything. Had my backpack off. We've dropped the bags back. And as I seen that Reg, I look back. Tyler's still walking behind me. And then all of a sudden I see another bull. Must have been a bull. Yeah, I just seen a big body. And then there was one tree covering its whole front shoulder area, and all of his antlers, you couldn't see him, besides the back tip of one antler was very thick, so I knew it was the big one. All I could see is front shoulder to the back. And Tyler's still walking. I was waving at him like stop, and I don't know, I should have just did a better signal for him to stop, because right when I seen him, I instantly ranged him. He was at 30 yards. And pull an arrow on my quiver and knock an arrow, pull back. And then he turns, actually, I remember this now. He turns, and then he's hard quartering away. And still had my 30-yard pin right on. I had to sneak it in between his back leg and his shoulder. It was kind of a tight spot quartering away. But I snuck it in there, and I seen the arrow go right where I wanted it to, right at 30 yards, and ran off all the elk. And then we seen some more cows down there we didn't know about. They all were running off, and he goes down this steep ravine, and then all the way up it, and you could still see at that point I couldn't see the arrow anymore. I seen the arrow at him right when I shot him, and then the arrow stuck out. Just so you could see about that much of the backside of the arrow. And anyways, I went down that ravine all the way up, and he just slowly walking. You could just see his exit side wound was just full of blood. Dead center mass, just full of blood. And he just continued going up the hill, and I was like, yes, keep going up, so we don't have to pack so far. Anyways, he goes down. He doesn't go down. He kind of makes to the top of the crest of the hill where it flattens off. And he's just moseying around this one spot. And then this point it's getting pretty dark, because from the time I shot him and the time he made it to the other side of the hill, that was a good 30 minutes. And he's somewhere over there. He's in this little patch. We got a good idea where he's at, and felt like I put a pretty good shot on him. Jesus. And we have a good idea where he's at, so we're gonna eat some supper and wait probably another hour or so. Yeah, one more hour. Maybe a little earlier. It seems like it's been a while now.
Mm-hmm. been a
We'll
while.
find him.
It's been at least an hour and a half.
He's a big one.
Yeah, he's a big
First
one.
elk.
Yep. With the bow.
And I could have shot that spike that was coming up that hill.
Yeah,
Piece of cake.
We definitely had the setup on the spike, but
Yeah.
I was like, well, if you want a guarantee, sit here. If not, let's go after the big ones. Because with the bigger ones, there's also a chance of us doubling, but the opportunity wasn't there, and Derek made a right choice and just got the big one. And yeah, we're gonna go find him here in a little bit. Stay tuned. I don't know what day it is. Morning of day 5, I think. We stayed up till 12:30 last night, looking for that bull in the dark. I'm climbing up a big, nasty, timbered, steep hole right now that we lost the raghorn in yesterday. And the bull, wounded bull, came this direction. So I thought he might be in here, which he might still be, but about halfway through and freaking beat. I'm crawling on my hands and knees. I'll show you my other hand. Yeah, here's my other hand. Crawling up this canyon, this drainage. I've been going down there. So, yeah, that's what I'm working with. I don't know. Saw a spike this morning. Got pretty close to him. Got to a spot where I was going to be 30 yards. I wasn't sure if I wanted to take a chance on shooting him or not. And I poked over. He wasn't there. He must have zagged when I zagged, or I just didn't catch his line right. I mean, I was about a mile away, little over half a mile when I started the stalk. Yeah, I don't know. Afternoon hunt, day 4 or 5. I don't remember what I'm calling this now. 5. Came out early. Derek left before me. Came out early to help him try and locate this bull. Still no sign of him. As any of you hunters know that have ever tracked a wounded animal, once you lose blood, it really changes things. Once you lose blood, the options of where they could have went are absolutely endless. I'm thinking what happened is the bull was hard, quartering away, looked back at him, and scrunched his ribs. Derek shot. The placement of the shot looks perfect, and there's a lot of red juice going down the side of him. But I think what happened was, and this is just totally a theory, I have no idea, but he's shooting swacker broadheads. And I think since the ball was quartering away, scrunched up, I think his ribs were really tight. The blades opened on impact, cut his skin, and I think the blades broke off on his ribs. and just barely punctured the bulls. It's basically like shooting the bull with a field point, is my theory on what happened. Because the bull ran up a mountain, over the mountain, and disappeared. And we tracked him last night, and from where we last seen him, we had blood maybe 50 yards from there, and it dwindled quickly. He stood in one spot for 20-30 minutes before we lost light on him, and when we got to that spot, there was barely a fist-sized puddle of blood. And for the shot placement, if the blades were there, that should have been a lot more devastating. A lot. I mean, that bull should have never made it up the mountain. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna kind of keep looking, keep my eyes open for any sign of him. But I'm also working my way to my kind of hidey hole glassing point. Yeah, stay tuned. Also, part of that afternoon update is, yeah, it looks like a storm's rolling in. This is the first afternoon I tried to wear the New View t-shirt because it was warm, hot. I was leaving early. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna run the t-shirt. Who needs camo on their arms? Well, now it looks like rain's coming. I wish I had the New View jacket with me. Guess I better do an update. It's September 18th, Thursday. Derek just left 30 minutes ago or so. I cleaned up the camper, put his bed away, and I mean, I didn't clean up the food or nothing, but got the dirt and stuff off the floor. I don't know if I did any updates yesterday. Nothing really happened yesterday. No elk were stalked. Today, we went to our normal spot, and lots of people were there. 2 groups at least. 1 guy in one group and 2 guys in another group, plus us. We were sitting there and we're like, you know what? Let's go check out the other spots. Or another spot. And we had a little miscommunication there, but it didn't matter. So we went to the spot Derek was thinking of that I was talking about. Went there and actually found a 4-point, I think it was. I didn't get a good look at him, like a 4x4 raghorn. I spotted him when we were maybe 150, 170 yards away. I stopped, went back, told Derek, hey, there's a bull right there. Let's rock, paper, scissors. He's like, no, you saw it. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if I really want it, though. So we rock, paper, scissored. Derek won. I was like, well, you better go see where the bull is before you try and put a stock on him so you can kind of, know where to go, obviously, besides just what I'm saying. And he goes over there to look, and the bull's gone. And he's like, well, I'm going to go up this way and see if I can see anything. And I was like, well, I'm going to go drop down to the bottom then and see if I can cut him off, because at the bottom it was private, like just a sliver of private, and then it was the river, and then it was like private. Obviously, it's private either way, but to try and stop him before the river was our goal, and stay on public. Obviously, I don't know why I'm being weird about how I'm saying that, but yeah, didn't do it. Didn't ever see the bull again. So we backed out of there because it's just a little tiny chunk of public, and went back to the spot that I was originally thinking of and didn't see anything. So we came back here, ate some pancakes, and Derek packed up and left. And yeah, so that's where we're at. I'm here by myself now. It's Thursday. I got Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday morning. I don't know. I might just pack up Friday afternoon and head back. We're going to leave the camper out here. You have 16 days to keep it parked in one spot. After 16 days, you have to move it at least half a mile from where you originally parked. So that's no big deal. By the time I come back, we'll still be within those 16 days. And hunting that weekend would still be within those 16 days. So, yeah, that's what we got going on. Here I am. I'm going to take a little snooze. I think I have enough food and water to make it through the day. Tomorrow I'll probably have to run back to the nearest town, just a couple hours away, get some food and water, and come back if I'm going to stay the rest of the weekend. Starting to miss home a little bit, plus now being alone, time's going to move a little slower. But yeah, this is what we're doing. Stay tuned. Double rainbow, and the one's right pretty much where I'm going. Perfect full rainbow. Well, I haven't been doing much updates because much hasn't gone on. Today is day 8. It's Friday. Yeah, day 8. Been trying all kinds of things. Been solo for the last half a day, and this morning tried a few different spots this morning, today. Seen very few elk from the norm, and none of them were coming onto public. I was gonna run to town and get supplies like water and stuff, some more food and snacks, but I went through what I got. I figured I could make it work for at least the rest of the day. So I went out to another spot, and I saw the herd was at the other spot. So in this other spot, the public goes really close to where I need it to go. Almost too close. We'll have to be really careful and not have an animal that I try and harvest go back onto private, because supposedly the private is an outfitter, and the outfitter will not let you retrieve your animals if you shoot them on public and they run onto his property. So gotta be really careful with that. I'm not really sure how I want to play with that. I've kind of been in this spot twice now and kind of tried to learn the boundary real good. There's a few spots where I think the elk will go, and if they do go there, I should be pretty safe as long as I make a good shot. Definitely not gonna be taking any long bombs in here. The only shots I will take is good, clean. I mean, that's pretty much the normal anyways, but just layups. Layups and free throws. No buzzer beater, half court shots, or deep 3-pointers. If it's an unguarded 3-point, maybe we'll take it, but mostly free throws and layups. But yeah, that's the update. I'm climbing this freaking switchback, beat up, gumbo ass road right now to get over there. I'll at least get some sick footage with the spotting scope and phone of elk on this spot. There's some really nice bulls in there that I kind of just want to get a closer look at anyways. So yep, that's the plan. That's what I'm doing. Here we go. Could you hear that? All right, guys. So it's day 9, Saturday the 20th. Had a game plan this morning from last night. I stayed till dark, watched where all the elk went. They went like everywhere, but there's this chunk of BLM that butts up to BMA, so I was gonna go hunt there. So I signed in last night so I could just wake up, get there, go in, hopefully get in front of these elk before they're going back to private. And a mouse kept waking me up all night. I hit my snooze one time. I slept in probably 30 minutes. It was still way before dark when I got over there, but somebody was already there. And if I was that person, I wouldn't want someone else coming in behind me, even though I know those people watched me sign in last night. But that's what it is. It's public land. They were there first. So I was like, you know what? I saw elk over to this other spot too. I'm more comfortable over there. Anyways, there's more public land around, less chance of an animal running back to private. And so I got up here, didn't see anything. So I hiked through the basin, up the other side, and got over here, and it's just dead. Not a single elk around. I can't see anything on public. I can see a couple hundred over on the private from where I'm at, but that doesn't do me any good. So I'm sitting here having a little bit of self-pity, trying to get over it, and just talking to the big man upstairs, looking at the sunrise. And an elk, a bull, just walked into the river about 900 yards away from me. He crossed the river into private, but sometimes when they do that, they come down the bank, and then when they get like 700 yards below me, then they cross it again and come up here in bed for the night, or for the day, out of the sun on some grassy hillsides. And there's 2 of them. They look like identical from the binoculars that impacted the spotter this morning. So I kind of figured I'd do a walkabout, scout around. But yeah, there's 2, probably right at 300 class, 6 points. Probably got kicked off the herd. They look tired. They're like dragging their legs through the water and stuff. So fingers crossed they come up here. Still a really small chance, but I'm trying to stay hopeful. Know what I'm saying? All right, stay tuned. Well, it's been 2 hours since I've seen those bulls, and they're not seeing or hearing anything else in this spot, and nothing has crossed over this spot in the last couple days that I know of. So I'm gonna hike back out. Really not looking forward to this. It's pretty much all uphill. I'm gonna go check another spot. I might hunt the rest of the day, but I think this is pretty much it. This is the trip. This is day 9. I think this is day 9. Had a few opportunities. I've passed up a few small bulls. I don't know. This is what it is. Maybe if I would have pushed it, I could have shot one of them small bulls, but I was waiting on the 7x7 and the spikes and cows were definitely catching my wind. So I didn't want to pop up when they were all alert and try and shoot one of the smaller bulls. Thought maybe if I just held tight, they would pass. The big bull would come up and I'd get an opportunity at him. It's not how it worked. Had a few opportunities on spikes. Didn't capitalize on those either. So, might be leaving empty-handed. Can come back next weekend. And I also have rifle season and everything else, so I don't know. It is what it is. We'll see if this next spot produces or what goes on. But this might be the end of the trip. I don't know. Stay tuned. I'll give one more update probably.
Yeah. This one's for the ones who wake up swinging. For the ones fighting a demon every damn morning. The ones smiling for their kids while dying inside. But don't get it twisted.
Well, hopefully this video isn't just all update videos, but I think my last update video was this morning. It's now the afternoon. I stayed. I'm gonna give her a good hurrah tonight. One of the big camps that was kind of going to every spot that I wanted to go to, looks like they packed up and left after this morning. This afternoon is going to be a really boring sit. I'm gonna sit hidden the whole time. I'm not gonna sit in glass. I kind of think I know what these elk are doing. And I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna hold tight. I'll be able to hear elk, I think, more than likely, because there's so many of them, not that far away. But yeah, I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna put the face mask on and everything. I'm gonna hide and wait the whole time. Fingers crossed this pays off. It should. Where I'm going, I watched I don't know, 50 plus elk go on this spot last night, and it's public. It's BMA, Black Management Association land, and I'm signed in. I'm gonna go through BLM to get on it, and I'm gonna tuck down in there and hopefully I can make something happen. Stay tuned. I didn't bring the spotter this afternoon, but I've already spotted a massive bull down in the trees. Like 350s, I would guess, maybe bigger. Big bull, big bull. Okay, I'm brushed in here. There's already a monster bull like 100 yards away. Maybe more now. He went back across the river. But I'm brushed. I made this little, like, not a ground blind, but I'm just hiding on the ground in a bush with a couple sticks in front of me. The bugling is really close. I'm not sure how close, but within 300 yards. I don't know if you can hear these flies, but they are not leaving me alone. Just wait for them to land on my face. Oh, one's biting my arm. fucking sucks. I've been in here for 3 hours just to be here in time, ahead of time, set up. It's getting right down to prime time. And these two guys just come stomping in here. An old guy and a younger guy. So I cow called at him to let him know I was here. And like, gave him the like, go away, please. And they just went around and they're sitting over in the trees on straight across from me. It's public land, but there's a sign-in box with my name on it, my truck description. Granted, I parked my truck in a different place. Oh man, that's just sickening. Happy day to find the truck. Pretty bummed I didn't have even a chance at some elk. Thought for sure that was gonna be a layup spot. Figured the only issue would be them running onto private. Didn't even get a shot. Alright guys, last day, Sunday morning. Start off by, I woke up late. Must have forgot to set my alarm last night. Look out the window and the sun's coming up. So I run down the road to my main glass knob where I can kind of see everything, and there's usually people here. Luckily there's no people here this morning. Lots of elk right below me. Some look like they might cross, some might not. But I'm looking over across the way at the spot I've been going to, of course. And there's like 10 elk. So I'm running back to the truck. It's about a 30-minute drive over there. And then I'm gonna try and put a play on these elk. Wish me luck. It's not looking good. I got over to where these elk are and there's a pickup at every pull off. Oh, it hurts. Hurts pretty bad, not gonna lie. Yeah, there's a spot down the hill. We'll park there and jump in and try. But hopes aren't real high at this point. They gotta go through 4 vehicles of hunters, probably more than one person per vehicle. Well, as suspected, that was a total fail. I should have stayed where I was, but I saw elk on legal land. Last morning I figured I gotta throw a Hail Mary and run over there and try and catch it. But when I got over here, there's already a minimum of 3 pickups. I didn't look for more. But I parked in the one and only open spot on the very end, which was the direction they were going when I last saw them. So I was like, maybe there's a chance, maybe they spooked them this way. Saw one guy belly crawling on a ridge, so I suspected them to be close, but then I got to a spot where I could see down that ridge and I glassed it. I don't know what he was belly crawling for. Something might have been there, or he thought they were there. But I really didn't stick around. I ran in there, didn't see elk, saw people, and I literally turned around and sprinted up the hill and out of there to go back to the spot I came from. There was elk close, and I could hear a lot of bugling and antler cracking over there from fighting. So not literally cracking, but smashing antlers together, fighting. It's a long drive back. It's a rough drive back. I hauled behind over here, but the one guy that was in there was a guy I've met and talked to, and really didn't want to mess anything up for him, so just didn't feel good about it. You know, you don't want to be that guy that ruins it for everybody else. Comes in late and tries to steal the show. So I'm leaving. I left. I did go in. I dipped my toes in the water, but I don't think I disturbed anything, and I got out of there. Hopefully nobody's too mad. And yeah, headed back to the other spot. Hopefully it's not too late. Hopefully something's coming up the hill and I can put a sneak on them. Wow. Okay. Back to where I started the morning. There's still elk right on the border of this property, which I would rather go after these elk because once they get up here, there's a lot more cushion for them to die on public land. But I'm glassing over where I just came from, did the mad dash, 30 minutes over there. Probably quicker because I was hauling butt. Got in there, all the pickups were there. Someone I knew was there. So I went down, looked over the hill, left, came back. So it's about an hour and a half later. Go by camps on the way here, people are already cooking food. These elk are still by the river, and over where I just came from, those elk are still right where they were when I left this spot. And there's one less pickup over there now that I can see. I didn't know I could see the pickups from here before, or I wouldn't have went over there in the first place. But there are chances in the area. I think I just need to be more patient. I just didn't want to miss it by sitting here, so I don't know. The pores on my face look huge. This is day 10, day 9 out here, depending on how you want to count it. I count last Friday as day 1, Saturday, day 2, today's Sunday the next week, so 10 days. Yep. Everybody cross your fingers. I know you won't see this till a couple days at least after I'm recording it, but yeah. Things are still happening. There are 2 elk on my side of the river now. They're not quite on public yet. They look like cows though, and at this point I've decided I'm not going to shoot anything other than an antlered animal. Hold on a second. Dang, those were horses. Thought I had elk running up my canyon. Just horses. But there are 2 bulls on the other side of the river. And this river's like a creek, so they cross it back and forth all the time. But there's 2 bulls, and they're not real thrilled with each other. So I'm hoping one of those gets kicked off and then pushes those cows up here. One can hope. Fingers crossed. The elk are in the trees that I want them in. Kinda. I mean, I want them to come out of those trees and keep coming this way. But they kicked out 6 white-tailed does. And when you're elk hunting, you don't want deer around because the deer are just more flighty, more jumpy, and that gets the elk on edge. Holy, this one deer. What the heck? It's literally left the group of 6 and is sprinting across the flat down here. Just Mach 100. The elk were coming up, And then they kind of went back in the trees. It looks like there's a couple of little bulls, maybe one really good bull, and some cows. So, not losing hope. Not losing hope. Maybe a little bit, but trying to stay positive. They only got to come 800 yards, and I have a chance. Maybe less than that for some of them. My reed is blown out. Oops. Come back down. Holy she-doggies. That's a good bull there. Well, that's a wrap. I'll head back to the camper, eat some breakfast, pack up, and head home. There's a few elk that were down there teasing me, but I don't think it's gonna happen in a timely manner. I looked away and looked back, and they were back in the farther in the stuff that I can't hunt, so it kills me. I hate leaving empty-handed. Not a very good loser. That's always what it feels like when you don't punch your tag on a long extended trip like this. But it is what it is. I didn't give up. I fought to the end. The only thing I could do is keep pushing the end. But I got work tomorrow, 5 hours away from home. 4 or 5 hours away from home. So, eat, pack, drive, unpack, sleep, go to work. Thanks for watching. If you liked this, I gotta sneeze. Allergies. If you liked this video, please let me know. I'll keep making more. If you didn't like it, I'll probably know because you won't like it or you won't watch it or follow or whatever. I know there's a lot of updates and not a whole lot of like actual hunting action, but I hope you were able to follow along and stay entertained. Thanks for watching.
It's okay, brother. We'll take a day off, man. We'll get a pizza and shit, watch the game. No, bro. Get your fucking shit on, man. Stop being a punk. If you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself. And that's what you need to really research is, man, why am I not doing this for myself?
Psych! Hope you didn't think I was giving up that easy. Day 10, that ain't nothing. We're going back for 11, 12, 13, 14. We're gonna make it happen one way or another. Here we go. Headed back. It's Wednesday. I came back Sunday afternoon last week. Got some things done that I needed to do. Moved the cows, cleaned out the camper, filled it back up with water. For some reason I can't get my kitchen sink to prime up in the camper now. No big deal. Went to work for a couple days, worked ahead so I can take the rest of the week off. And we're headed back. Headed back, baby!
I'm your huckleberry.
Friday the 26th morning. I got into me and Derek got in last night and we split up this morning. I got in on some elk as the sun was coming up. Unfortunately, they got back onto private before I could intercept them. When I stalked some turkeys, turned out they were all hens and most of them had chicks. So didn't want to do that. Climbed back out of there, got service. Derek says he's got a couple spotted. So I'm gonna go over and spot for him, help him make a game plan. Sounds like one might be the bull he tagged, and one might be a 6x7 or 7x7. He's not sure. So I'm gonna hike in there, back out of here, get in the truck, drive around, hike in there with the spotter, and see what we can do. Get Derek on a big bull. Update here. We're in on these two bulls. We got one bull up one draw and a bull up the adjacent draw. The bull that's more to my right is really tucked in the trees. You can't see his antlers. He has been bedded since I've been over here and hasn't moved. The other bull was bedded down in an open bottom. You could see him like a sore thumb. And he looks a little more framey. Not as much length on the tines, but more frame. And so and that one just got up and rebedded. So since he just rebedded, we think the time is now. And Derek is halfway to 3/4 of the way over there. I can't see him now. He just went behind the hill, but see what happens. I can't find the new bull in the spotter anymore. I think he laid his head down and I lost where he was. So bad spotting on my end, but that happened before Derek left. So I'm just waiting to see if he ever gets up or moves. Then I'll know. Not much I can do to tell Derek, but maybe some hand signals if he looks over this way. Looks like a lot bigger bull than I thought. Must be something different over there that I can't see. Now the bull's quartered away hard. What it looks like. Must have brush in the way or something. Oh man, I hope he didn't miss his opportunity. Well, pretty sure I put the clip in here by now, but what happened was, I don't really know why Derek didn't shoot. I don't know if he thought he was going to get a better opportunity, or if he was just a little gun shy, or I don't know. From up here, it looked like it was time to shoot, but I wasn't there in his socks. He wasn't wearing boots. But anyways, that bull snuck out down the draw and really slowly meandered through the bottom. I mean, I could have ran down the hill and cut him off, but I didn't. I was waiting for Derek. See, I was watching the bull. I wasn't really watching Derek. The bull made it over to the next draw. He was just kind of standing there real casually, and Derek must have made a move on him, because this time the bull busted. I mean, he turned and he ran, and it looked like he was coming right up to me. So I grabbed my bow, ran behind the hill, dove down the backside, and peeked over, and he was still running through the bottom. So I kept running down the hill, and then peeked over, and he was still working his way through the bottom. And he kicked it in another gear, and I thought I was going to catch him on the corner, but those things are so fast, and he wasn't stopping. He ran all the way back to private. which is a good ways from here. These bulls, they know where they are safe. What these bulls want is alone time away from the big bulls. That's why they're over here trying to catch a nap, get some more energy. But I can't tell if the other bull is still up in his bed or not. Might have his head down right now, but didn't work out. Well, I dove into this. Hellhole is an understatement. I went to a new spot after doing the usual routine this morning, and it's like I gotta change something. Something's gotta change. And go across the road, hike in here a ways, which is a ways from where I am now. And I set up on this rock ledge. It's got like a rock wall behind me. I'm sitting on this big rock that's a ledge, an overhang. And just sitting there, like, man, this is some elk country right here. I could see finding sheds, deadheads, all the good stuff. I definitely would see an elk in here. You know, not that far from the big private herd, but far enough he doesn't get bothered. I haven't seen one single hunter or boot print in here. And then boom, crash, bang, boom, 700 yards away, this monster. I'm talking big frame, long points, comes crashing out of the woods, opens himself up on the side hill. I look at him with the binoculars, quick range how far away he is, trying to take a mental note. And it was about 800 yards from where I was. I don't know what caused him to crash out of there. It wasn't my wind. One, my wind was in my face. Two, I was 800 yards away. So I wasn't that far from the road. I mean, I was maybe like a mile, half mile. Ran back to my truck, and this, I don't want to give anything away. Drive down the road, like 3 draws over, kind of where I thought he was going, and then dove in here, and I am back in here now. It's getting hot, and looks nothing like it did on Onyx. We're talking steep, crawling on my hands and knees getting up some of these hills. Thick, just break after break after break, like hill breaks, draws. I didn't want to leave anything on the table. I wanted to come after him, wanted to give it all I had, but I'm at a point now where I just don't really see it worth it to keep going after him. Maybe I go back to kind of where I was and glass for him. I don't know.